What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman. Now, in a video we did earlier in the week, I'll make sure to link at the end of this, we covered Jon Bernthal's most recent interview in which he was asked about returning as Frank Castle possibly in the MCU in light of Marvel not having announced what they'll do, if anything, with the holdover cast of Marvel characters from the now defunct Netflix universe. And what he had to say was that he was thankful for the character, how it turned out and connected with the fans, and that if ever the call came, Frank Castle would always be there. But it wasn't just Jon Bernthal's Punisher that connected with the fans in a way that made them want to see him back, but of course Charlie Cox's Daredevil as well. And according to one industry insider, those talks are set to resume between Cox and Marvel Studios next month. We're going to break down exactly what he said in one of his more recent reports, where this is coming from, and what it would mean for Charlie Cox's Netflix series. Would that become a part of the MCU like canonization, or might he get the Deadpool treatment? We're going to break it all down, but first, if you could grab the subscribe button, we're still giving away this insane Beta Ray Bill and our third and final Infinity Saga box set next month. All you have to do to be entered to win, hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment on this video, and if you want, stick around at the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. So this report originated with industry insider and friend of the channel, Mikey Sutton, who has picked up a ton of traction based on his track record, especially when it comes to Spider-Man scoops, but recently launching his Geekosity mag has now been covered by a ton of Hollywood trades, and the places that cover this kind of news even being referred to recently by CBR as a trusted industry insider. He went on to report last month that coming up here in a couple of weeks in December, Marvel Studios will look to reopen talks with Charlie Cox's Daredevil, bringing him back, and which is super interesting considering this week we heard that Ryan Reynolds could be announcing Deadpool 3 in December as well. He goes on to write, quote, "Inside chatter about bringing Charlie Cox as Daredevil will finally lead to a possibly solid foundation, as initial discussions for a new contract with Marvel Studios are expected in December. These are really just early talks, so there's no guarantee of an agreement, but possibly announced by year's end. That would be right in line with Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool if so. Nevertheless, the shackles will be off and Marvel Studios can finally proceed with their new plans for Daredevil. Like Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool or J.K. Simmons as John Jonah Jameson, Cox could be among the few actors to transfer to Feige from a different department. Unlike those two, though, Daredevil is owned by Disney, except his creative direction at the time had fallen under Marvel TV eye of Jeff Loeb. Sources say that Feige is more interested in keeping Cox and less interested in following the Netflix continuity like he did with the series. And that's super interesting and a very important distinction, as we've all speculated now for a full 2 years as to what Marvel Studios wants to do with these characters if they're getting a full reboot. In the case of Ryan Reynolds, it's impossible to do that. The same actor playing the same character, the best they can hope for is only a couple of jokes as he breaks the fourth wall and just rebooting a character without being tied to any of his baggage. So you get the same actor portraying the same character, but you're not tied to the events of the previous shows. They can introduce their own version of the Hand, they can introduce their own Elektra, they could do their own version of the Elektra saga. And although that may sound odd for characters who, well, have to ignore all of the backstory, Daredevil having done multiple seasons, even Jon Bernthal with as much as he built out Frank Castle, but the truth is they could also pick up in a way they did with Spider-Man in the MCU without tending to any of that backstory and just press the story forward so that they're not rehashing old ground we've already seen with the character. We don't need the Styx introduction. Maybe they don't do Elektra at all. They take him in a different direction, help him team up with the other characters that are in his geography and on his level. We all know who I'm talking about, specifically Spider-Man, and we're about to get to that. And the huge upside to that is obviously getting to ignore the Netflix continuity altogether. You don't even deny its existence, you just don't acknowledge it and press forward. Marvel Studios has a history of doing that. I think they could do it here. Now, I want to point out this Spider-Man, as this is super interesting, and if you follow channels like mine or the genre, you know this has been speculated going back over a year now that Daredevil, Matt Murdock, would show up during Spider-Man 3 to serve as his lawyer. Now, we've debunked that a million times, and as I always said here at the channel from day one, that script would have been written and complete before these rights were bounced back to Marvel Studios, which is just now happening now in order for them to have talks. But we all know how things went this year. We all know that the slate got pushed back an entire year and that they've just now started filming Spider-Man 3 which doesn't come out for over a year. If you remember back to Civil War, they were already underway in filming by the time that they had gotten the rights and the deal done with Spider-Man to introduce him during Civil War, and he was able to make a role in that script and a part of that movie. Then think about this with Daredevil, and if they could get this done, and this is purely speculation, then the door does fly wide open as to where they want to put him and when to introduce him, and then Spider-Man becomes squarely back on the table. Has the script already been written? Yes. Is the production done? Of course, but is there room for a post-credit scene if they want to switch it up? Look, Marvel Studios has a history of doing things differently when they have to. We all know that the original Age of Ultron post-credit scene wasn't something that was decided till very last minute and changed. The same with the original Avengers. Introducing Matt Murdock as a cameo in one of those post-credit scenes would be such fan service, and now if they get talks underway and with a year left before this film comes out, becomes a total possibility. The truth is though, they don't have to force that. There's going to be more than ample opportunity to get this character into the MCU, and a fan favorite as he is in Daredevil, with the awesome portrayal by Charlie Cox and as much time off as they've had now. Think about it, we've had the luxury of having an extra year off from Marvel content. The further those Netflix series fall behind in the rearview mirror, the more likely it is and easily acceptable for us to suspend disbelief if we see him as Daredevil again in a new role with a new story. I'm super excited at the prospect, and it's awesome to think that Marvel Studios is open to this as well. We're going to have to wait and see, but guys, let me know all your thoughts down below. Of all of the Netflix characters, if you could only have one, Charlie Cox's Daredevil or Jon Bernthal's Punisher, and I don't think they'll be mutually exclusive. Hopefully, if they get the job done with one, they can get the job done with the other, but surely they have to know how people feel about these characters. One final thought I'll leave you with, of course, with Mahershala Ali, the villain in Luke Cage's show, getting cast as Blade, there's a good chance they are going to ignore the Netflix continuity altogether. That adds a lot of fuel to this report. It's definitely right on the money for what Marvel Studios would want to do. Again, we'll wait and see. Let me know all your thoughts down below, and quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. We're still giving away this insane 1/4 scale Beta Ray Bill, which we may just give away by the end of the year since the subs have slowed down just a little bit now. We're going to give this away at $750, but we want to switch up the prizes. We have some awesome ones coming next month, so get in to win that by leaving a comment down below and being a subscriber. That'll automatically enter you to win this Infinity Saga box set we're giving away on New Year's Eve. We already gave away 2 here at the channel earlier this year. If you want to be entered to win Beta Ray Bill, this Infinity Saga box set, or the PlayStation that's right around the corner, and you guys know what I'm talking about, all the same rules will always apply. Hit the subscribe button because you got to be a subscriber to the channel. Then leave a comment on the video, and because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. Then hit the notification bell with notifications turned on to keep up with the videos and content here at the channel. And as always, if you enjoyed today's video or the content we put out regularly, we'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. My name's Michael Roman. You can find me over on Instagram at IamFires, over on Twitch at twitch.tv/Nevellin, NVELLN. There's links down in the description to both. Thanks for checking out the channel, guys, and stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.